The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior. Risky behavior.
Yo. What is up? What is up? Lot been going on this week. I'm bored. I haven't been paying attention. And I thought after the guilty verdict, I thought we would be done with all this, but the saga continues. Not to be mean, but I kind of thought all this would go away. So Karmelo Anthony has officially filed a notice of appeal following his murder conviction and is seeking a court-appointed attorney for the process. Karmelo Anthony, age 19, who was convicted of the murder of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet in April of 2025, filed a notice of appeal the day after his conviction in Collin County, Texas, where he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. And it all happened really fast. They was trying to get that boy up out of there. It was like all in one damn day. I remember they even said, "Oh man, we think this trial going to be 2 weeks long." That judge, that prosecutor said, shit, 2 weeks. Yeah, right. It was a swift sentence, conviction. Let's go home. They did that so fast. It's like somebody was late for supper. So in this filing, Anthony stated that he is financially unable to hire an attorney and requested the court to appoint one for his appeal. The appeal is a standard legal right in Texas, and defendants have 30 days from sentencing to submit a notice of appeal. And I know a lot of people was like, I ain't got money for a lawyer. How? They got all that money. How come they ain't got money for a damn attorney? So, that's another thing people arguing about on the internet, man. They upset. They like, where the money go? So attorney Anthony's trial attorney, Mike Howard, whom I feel like we didn't get to really see a lot from Mike Howard. They had, and that's something I want to talk about today, this Dominique Alexander guy that was running his fucking mouth so fucking much like he was the attorney. I think he was trying to confuse people and make them think he was the attorney. Lord knows he wasn't one. Okay. If anything, Dominique Alexander can't be an attorney. He need an attorney with all the trouble behind him. So Mike Howard confirmed that the appeal has been filed and noted that there are several important issues for the appellate courts to consider. And considering the way that Karmelo Anthony's parents was talking about Mike Howard in their interview on the Breakfast Club and other stations, I don't think it would have been an option for Mike Howard to continue to be his attorney. So even if they had the money, Mike Howard wouldn't have been doing it, right? So once a judge declares Anthony indigent, an appellate attorney will review the trial record and may argue that errors occurred during the trial that could justify overturning the conviction or modifying the sentence. So the specific issues Anthony plans to raise on appeal have not yet been disclosed. And many people are guessing what it could be. Was it the, as people say, the all-white jury? Even though we know it was an all-white jury, it was a couple Asian, and then I believe Middle Eastern, and then it was some white people. But I was listening to some I think I got that video too. A lawyer was speaking about that a jury of your peers doesn't mean necessarily people that look like you, but people that represent the community that you in is the jury of your peers, not necessarily people that look like you, but they feel that they may raise the issue with them striking the 3 black women from the jury. They might bring that up. And I think another thing that would be brought up is people are saying that because they had no cameras in the court, so we just can only go by what people are saying. My bad, I got distracted. We can only go by what people are reporting. So they're saying that his defense attorney didn't object to anything. So didn't have what they say adequate an adequate defense. So let's see. Nickname says, so you guys are complaining about his DEI attorney. I don't know. I'm not complaining. I wasn't there. I can't tell. They just reporting saying that the attorney didn't object to anything. When I read back some of people's reports, what they were saying, nickname, they were saying how because people were saying you have some people that took very good notes. If these people are being honest, because none of us saw this on video, if those people are being honest, they're saying that what's the one boy's name? They're minors, so they don't say their names. People are saying that the person that everybody's tripping about, they call him the bad friend, is Eddie. And they're saying other witnesses were obviously they're claiming they lied on the stand, and that the attorney didn't do a good job of pointing that out, how what they were saying on the stand wasn't matching what they told police when the incident happened. But I don't know. Over time, I guess people's opinions change or memory changes. I don't know. I watch enough true crime to know that, lawyers and people in the court system say the worst evidence is eyewitness testimony. So nickname says Little Thug took a knife to high school track meet, down to kid in the heart. You guys are defending them. You guys are POS as if you do. And I don't know. That's weird how you type that. And as if you do, and extremely racist if you're supporting him because he's black. I ain't supporting nobody, nickname. I think it's sad on either side. I remain saying that they were both kids. I'm not talking bad about children. I think it's sad. And I don't know. I think most people, I think they do a good job on the media, make it seem like people are there's all these people defending. Most people say you shouldn't stab nobody in the chest for sure. Okay. Sincere said no cameras in the court is wow. Yep, no cameras in the court. Look, the judge, whoever was in charge of all this, did a good damn job with that no gag order. I mean, they didn't let nothing slip out. We didn't see anything. All we can go by is like people who were able to get into the courtroom. Some people were getting up at 3 a.m. just to make sure they stand in line, like they was buying Jordans or something, and coming back and telling us what they heard. So we don't know. Let's see. Grandy says kid doesn't get a handicap just because he is black. Yeah, I don't think anybody should get a handicap regardless of the color of their skin. Let's see. Viper says FFS, he made the decision to kill someone. He should get the chair. Yeah, but they got laws against that because he's 17, so that wasn't an option. And Granny says we want cameras on Kirk's killer. Yeah. Sincere says racist. Recent bias is real. People are saying he didn't use equal force. There's consequences for murder. It was premeditated. It's sad that no one wants this up in arms during the Jim Crow and before that. Yeah, I think the healthy thing to do is just to say, it was a bad situation. Should nobody get stabbed in the heart for something like this. I would not I think anybody that's a parent would not advise their kids to stab somebody because of a push or a shove. Most responsible parents are going to tell their kid to walk away, go get an adult, or duke it out. Don't pull a weapon over something like that, or just simply leave. So this case has drawn national attention due to the circumstances of the stabbing and the ages of both Anthony and Metcalf, who were 17 at the time of the incident. Advocates and some observers have cited discrepancies between video evidence and trial testimony, which may be relevant in the appeal process. Anthony is currently in custody at the PEC unit near Navasota, Texas, after being processed by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I know they say he went to one place, but they found a connection between, I guess, the person who runs the prison and the Metcalf family. So he was moved somewhere else. I don't know if that's the final place. Despite the family led fundraiser that raised over $600,000 to support Anthony and his family, he has claimed in court documents that he is penniless, destitute, and that's something that if anybody saw Austin Metcalf's father interview, he's making fun of Karmelo Anthony's father because of that, saying that they were basically, he's accusing the family of living off of Carmelo's money that was meant for his attorney fees. So that's why he's saying now, but who knows what's true or what's not true. The funds raised were reportedly used for family relocation, living expenses, and security measures rather than solely for legal fees. And as you know, Carmelo Anthony's mom and dad spoke about being doxxed, feeling unsafe, having to move. Carmelo Anthony's father spoke about, because he's afraid to leave his family because of all the threats, miss work, things of that nature. So, Carmelo Anthony is actively pursuing an appeal. He has filed the necessary notice and is awaiting the appointment of an attorney to proceed with challenging his conviction. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what will happen. I don't know. They say so far, nobody has rioted. But man, oh man, if they're able to overturn the conviction, I'm pretty sure they will. Shout out to everybody in the biddy. I'm supposed to tell y'all to like and subscribe, please. Thank you kindly.
Karmelo Anthony appealing his murder conviction and sentence of 35 years in prison for stabbing and killing Austin Metcalf at a track meet. Prosecutors say the appeal was expected and that the evidence is on their side. They also dispelled any concern that race was a factor.
Frisco, Texas is a diverse community. The kids that were out there were diverse. Austin, Hunter, Metcalf were good kids that had friends of all races. Karmelo Anthony had friends of all races. So the case simply had nothing to do about race. It wasn't self-defense because two reasons. Basically, you can't provoke a difficulty with someone in Texas and then use it as an excuse to kill them. Another way to think about it is you can't, if somebody throws a punch at you, you can't pull out a gun and shoot him.
Joining us now is author and co-chair of Project 21, Horace Cooper. Horace, great to have you here in person. That said, we do head to an appeal now. We're seemingly the only
What the hell? I was about to say, man. Did I just freeze?
It's in claim that
Argument work. It's the argument being that there were no black jurors. Will that argument work?
So this is a standard Batson claim that since the Supreme Court has ruled that if you are the accused and all of the peremptory challenges that the prosecutors used eliminated a person of the same race as the accused, you can ask the question as to why that occurred. But what actually happened here is that teachers were challenged. Now, if you're going to say that if you're a black teacher, you get to stay on the jury, but if you're a white teacher, you're not going to be able to stay on the jury, even though it was recognized that a teacher might not look at this case the way the law requires.
That's such a good point, and I think that is what makes this argument on appeal about to fail, and I think we need to be clear-minded on that. Another reason I think things went so well in this courtroom, the judge did a spectacular job of keeping this courtroom from really getting infected with the undercurrent of race. One individual who did not do the same, of course, is Jasmine Crockett, nor did she seem to understand the facts of the case. Watch this.
If a 300-pound man is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down, I'm not limited to fist.
So just to be clear, Metcalf was not 300 pounds. He wasn't beating down on anyone. And not that this was a fight, because it's clearly been acknowledged in court that it was not a fight. But under the law, you are limited in a fist fight to just using your fists. You cannot use a knife. What's your message to Jasmine Crockett?
Miss Crockett misses the limelight, and she's willing to stir up a lot of racial animus in Texas as a way to keep herself in the limelight. There are no actual racial elements associated with this case. Here's the real story. I grew up in Texas. If an incident like this that occurred, your parents' job was to take you right down to the sheriff's office and let you plea and admit to this. His refusal to plea and admit to this has resulted in a staggering 35-year sentence. But if you make the prosecutor prove a slam dunk case, this is what you get.
Question that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and we need to be quick on this. It's a Hail Mary question. In light of what you just said, the fact that he did not go to the court to plead, maybe his lawyers told him not to. Could you see an ineffective assistance of conviction?
Absolutely not into work. And it's a shame that doing the right thing wasn't what the mom and dad in this family.
He said something good, though, because I kind of felt like the way they handled this in the beginning hurt them in the end, because even in the beginning, Austin Metcalf's father, what's his name, Jeff Metcalf, he did extend like a olive branch in the beginning, and them listening to Dominique Alexander, the spokesperson, running his mouth all the damn time. I don't think they handled this the correct way in the beginning.
Being made here to invalidate the conviction.
Absolutely not. None of these claims are going to work. And it's a shame that doing the right thing wasn't what the mom and dad in this family wanted to do.
Horace Cooper, thank you so much for your time and your insight. Very much appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes, I don't know. I do think that he handled it the wrong way. I am going to play a little bit of that video in the beginning. Remember when the father showed up to the press conference with the family? Now, understandably, the police would not know his intentions. You know, his son just died. Who knows what mind frame he is? He might shoot up the place. And I get that. But when he was removed, and they sat up there and let Dominique Alexander just talk crap about that dad in the beginning and stuff, I just think they didn't handle it the right way. I think it's important to have, you got to have a game plan. Uh, you got to have a game plan. You just do. Trying to bring up this other damn video. Come on.
Let me interrupt you. The verdict is in 35 years, and it's not under passion.
All right. Let's see. I say Karmelo Anthony.
Attorneys for the Texas teenager.
Let's see. Imagine if everyone, Emmett Till, that was a sad story. Yeah. No, Emmett Till's murderers did not get sentenced at all.
Teenager convicted of stabbing a fellow high school student athlete. Attorneys for the Texas teenager convicted of stabbing a fellow high school student athlete to death have filed a notice of appeal. A jury sentenced 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf earlier this week. His legal team argued it was self-defense. CBS News correspondent Jonah Kaplan sat down exclusively with Anthony's parents after the verdict came down. They spoke about the trial, their son, and the division suburb.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
It took less than 3 hours for
In the Texas suburb.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
It took less than
Texas suburb.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone.
My heart goes out to both of these families. I don't know. It's something. I don't know. Oh man. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to sound mean, but sometimes I think if every time they put the camera on her and she's like crying every time, and your kid not the one that died, I think people look at that the wrong way. I think that while they have this appeals process going on, I think they should still just stay out of the camera. Sorry, I just think they do. I don't know if anybody else understands that. Like what I'm saying, they feel that way. I don't know.
My son was defending himself.
It took less than 3 hours for a jury to reject 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argued Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being taunted and shoved by Metcalf and his teammates at a high school track meet.
Take us inside that courtroom. What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
At the sentencing hearing, the defense called only one witness on Anthony's behalf, his mother, Kayla Hayes.
What did you tell the jury?
To have mercy on my son.
What do you say to his grieving family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
That poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, called Anthony's sentencing bittersweet.
What it boils down to for me is this. Austin will never walk through that door again and never give me a hug.
The case drew national attention, prompting protests in support of both teens. And both families involved say they've received threats.
This morning, I've had multiple emails, texts, threatening me, calling me all sorts of names.
During our interview, the Anthonys made a point to call back one man they say continues to dox them.
Why are you calling me, man?
To make fun of you.
Both families urge supporters to tame their emotions.
And if you see, like, this case has just had so much just racism around it. I honestly believe that people that make this about race, the people that have, I don't think they really care. I think honestly people are just pushing their own agenda. If you really care about children and kids, our teenagers, period. Teenagers just seem to be more violent. You know, even when I was watching something on school shootings and stuff like that, man. If you really care about kids, you wouldn't make this about race. I don't think Austin Metcalf was no racist. I don't think Karmelo Anthony was. Teenagers sometimes just don't know how to handle shit. They just don't. They're idiots. They are. Most teenagers stupid. And somebody does just something horrible and it's just dumb. You know, you got people that's gonna say, well, the Metcalfs was bullies, and say Karmelo was bad. Look, all these kids was good kids with high GPAs, captains of their teams. These were actually good fucking teams. That's what makes this, that's to me what stands out more than anything, not the color of their skin, but they were actually, when you look at them and you look at them on paper, these were awesome kids. Regardless of who their parents were, their upbringing, what city they lived in, the color of their skin, these were actually good kids. So I don't know why people on any side is making up rumors and making up things, you know, about the other side. Just like Chemo saying bought a Cadillac. They didn't buy a Cadillac. All this stuff was disproven. I don't know why people believe these things. I'm sorry, Christine, you said you think they'll appeal his sentence. Appeal the sentence. Maybe they'll can get it down, maybe manslaughter or something like this. I think he was wrong. He was guilty. I don't know if I would consider it murder. I felt like I would lean more towards manslaughter, and that's a 20-year sentence. But I'm not hard on that opinion because regardless of race or color, Austin Metcalf's father lost a kid. I would not expect anybody to have any mercy on somebody that took their child life. And the same thing with Karmelo's parents. Most people are going to protect their kids, whether they're right or wrong, because the idea of losing them is too horrific. Some people can act and pretend like, nah, if my kid was wrong, you don't know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation. So who knows? But I don't know why people make it about them and their own personal feelings, you know, about the people that are different from them. So
I forgave him. But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
At the end of the day, there's nothing we can say or do for people to accept it.
I'm Jonah Kaplan in McKinney, Texas.
CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi joins us now to break down the key aspects of this case. Caroline, good morning. Great to have you here. So many people online have deep opinions on this, despite not being where the incident happened. Everybody is brokenhearted here, but help us understand the jury selection process and the quick deliberations, and if it might be something used on appeal because of how it played out.
Yeah, very divisive trial. It tore a community apart, Errol, which is why there's so much focus on this part. And I think particularly in the sentencing, they came back really quickly. 3-hour deliberation, meaning they wholesale rejected this concept that the defense put forward of some sort of self-defense. Remember, the facts are disputed, but we do know that there was potentially some sort of altercation, a push, perhaps an inciting incident that led to the lead up of this really, really tragic death, which has now been deemed a murder. And so what you see now is Karmelo Anthony has filed a notice of appeal. We don't know the arguments that he's going to make. It's a procedural thing that he's done now, basically alerting the court that he's going to appeal. And you do note there are some issues here, I think, even leading into the trial that are not necessarily legal arguments about what the evidence in the trial, but are how the jury was selected. There's what's known as a Batson challenge his attorneys made. The prosecution used some of their peremptory challenges to take out black jurors, potential black jurors on this case. There were no black jurors eventually seated on the case. And so I think that will be an issue on appeal. I also think the defense did a disservice at the sentencing phase here for Karmelo Anthony. They only called one character witness, his mother. They had the opportunity to present a more compelling mitigation case. 35 years, it's a long time. The jury didn't accept this heat of passion argument that was put forward in the instructions. So there are a lot of issues here. Legally speaking, very quick decision on the part of the jury.
And online, people have their own opinions. Both families are being harassed, as we just.
But the one good decision I think they made is they had it where the jury was in charge of sentencing. I think he would have got way more time if the judge would have did it. And like one lawyer said, hey, a judge is used to looking people in their eye and telling them you got life in prison and going home and sleeping like a baby. The average person ain't used to doing that. And I think that jury said, look, we can't sentence him too short. We got to live here. Okay. But at the same time, we can't sentence him too long. I think 35 years to them was fair when it comes to somebody's life being taken. A lot of people complained about what the jury did. I think they met in the middle. I really, really think they do. I think they gave a sentence that would be something that both sides couldn't really attack them over. I think they did their best. I think so some people saying, well, you got 35 years. I was like, man, look, if that judge would have did it, I think that judge would have gave him way longer. That's probably like the only good decision they made in this trial.
Saw in this report, and the jury selection process, as you noted, was interesting as well. But the defense didn't bring up a lot of character witnesses for Karmelo Anthony himself to help bolster this sense his side was making that it was self-defense. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, so two things. He didn't take the stand in the case in chief in his own defense. Typically, criminal defendants don't take the stand, but in self-defense cases in particular, you kind of have to. They do, because there's a subjective element. We really needed to hear him, or jurors would really need to hear him say that he subjectively was fearful of his life. These two twin brothers, as alleged, were much larger in stature than he was. They had told him to leave. There was apparently a push. So that would have been key testimony. And then on the sentencing phase, typically you would see calling potentially teachers, coaches in this young man's life to try to portray him not as a monster, but as somebody who potentially maybe deserves some mercy in the sentencing phase. So that was a failing.
And we have to note, for the Metcalfs, they've lost their son. He is gone, and now the decision has been made that he was murdered. As we see the appeal process play out, though, what might change? Just the sentencing, perhaps?
Well, it's very high bar to get an appeal. He filed as an indigent, meaning he doesn't have the resources to retain an attorney on appeal. He would like the state to pay for that. There are some issues whether or not that's going to be granted. There was a GoFundMe page in this case to raise funds for his legal defense, which could play into his claim of indigence. And so this will take a long time for sure. Typically, I don't see this going well for him in the appeals process. Criminal defendants always appeal their convictions. Very difficult to get something overturned. So I think we're going to see him, serve this sentence.
And my final question to you, just as we watch this play out, it may.
And I know it's difficult to overturn. Look, it's difficult. I've seen people, man, they be taking a sweet ass time when people are found to be innocent and wrongfully convicted. They had a guy, they had the DNA evidence and found out he was innocent the whole damn time. And they took their sweet time releasing him, even when they are actually wrong and they got the proof. People say the wheels of justice turn slowly, they turn even slower when they got to admit they wrong. And so in this case, I don't know where people think this appeal is going to go. I know Mike said, man, how long y'all going to talk about this? I don't know, Mike. I'm kind of done with it, but I didn't get to watch none of these videos, so I'm watching them for the first time, and I figured why not watch it and go live. But I got another story that I want to do. Hopefully I can do it later on today, but I've been hella busy. Rick said it's hard to know how someone feels when they don't have a frontal lobe. It's so easy to play the victim card. Keep being a victim with your victim mentality and show me how far it gets me. I think he meant to say you. I don't know. I don't know who Rick's saying is being a victim. Maybe he's talking about the people, I guess, supporting Karmelo, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know.
Take time as an appeal unfolds. Both families are being harassed.
Yeah.
This has ripped up a community, and even online, folks don't agree on what happened or the outcome. Does that play a role at all in how a judge might decide how quickly to decide on things, or is it completely irrelevant?
I don't think so. Look, there's more of a spotlight on this, so they may feel compelled to, really take a
Yes, Truth Seeker, both families need prayer, and it would be nice if people just focused on the parents and their pain and how things like this can happen.
strong look at the legal arguments because they know everybody's watching. But no, really, these types of issues are meant to stay outside of the courtroom. That's why our system is supposed to be inoculated from these things. The jury was going to be sequestered if they were going to deliberate overnight, because you want to really keep them insulated from any of this outside noise. And there has been a lot of noise on this case.
Yeah, Caroline Polisi, appreciate you being here explaining the key legal aspects.
Let's see. JK said he's not getting out. LOL. Sorry, not sorry. I don't see him getting out. I don't. And I think public perception and what the public wants, I think it matters. I think that I don't know any judge, anybody brave enough to release him at this point. I don't see it. So True Seeker says, don't let your hate stoop to low levels. Definitely. Many people have made this this situation about themselves, man. It's sad to see that, because people that think that they're riding for the Metcalf family are not really, you don't really care about what happened to them, because I think if you really did, you would feel more sadness, but the hate and the using it as a reason to be racist is crazy. And the same thing for black people. I'm not one of the people that say black people can't be racist or have hate. Yes, they can. I'll be honest. There's been black people that have said Metcalf died and they don't care because he's white. So there are people saying hateful things on both sides. And I get it. America can be racist, but I don't have to participate in people's hatred. And people get mad at me for saying that, and so you got to pick a side. I'm not picking no damn side in no crap like this, because it ain't even no good side to be on. Would you want to be Karmelo Anthony parents and your kid going away to prison? No. Would you want to be Austin Metcalf family, his mom and dad, and you didn't die because somebody stabbed him in the chest? Because boys will be boys, and they're down there arguing, and somebody got pushed. Hell nah, you wouldn't want to be on that side either. Ain't no damn pick a side. It's just a crazy situation that happened. But with the way adults act on the internet, who's surprised? Y'all surprised kids act this way? You got adults that don't know how to act, that were out there in front of the courtroom yelling and arguing with each other, saying all kind of crap. And we surprised children act the way that they act. Come on, man. Stop it. We cannot be surprised. Look at the adults. With the adults that we have running around, Mo said crowds just like the blood. They do. Oh man. Roscoe says, blame toxic black culture. I don't think Carmelo came from no toxic black culture, man. I think he was just a silly kid. I really do. I don't think any of these kids came from nothing toxic at all. At all. Because if Carmelo really came from that, he would know how to fight and he would just fought. Like people that really fight that come from that do not care if it's 2 of y'all, 3 of y'all, they'll fight all of y'all. They'll never pull a weapon. So that ain't, he did some scary shit, to be honest with you. Yeah. Rick says Metcalf will never have a wife, will never have a child, and will never grow old. Anthony deserves the same have fun life behind bars. And I understand that sentiment. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying that, Rick. I think the problem is people that take it past that and they go to the name calling and let me attack this group of people just because this one person with that skin color did this. It's plenty of, like me, I'm black. I see white people do horrible things all the time on the news. This past 5 years has been insane. Anybody that watches Law and Crime Network knows this to be a fact. It's been so many white women teachers exposed for sleeping with children. It's ridiculous. I never once in my mind thought that all white women are perverts just because of what those white women that got caught doing what they was doing. Or if I saw a white man and he did something, even if he did something to a black person, I didn't turn around and go, look, all white people are racist and that, oh, this is how they all are because this one did it. That's just insane. I was just having this argument earlier on Clubhouse with somebody because it's like, even if you look up murder in the United States, statistically, murder is rare. Most people are not killers. They're not. Even the people that kill are not even killers because most of them confess. They can't even live with it. They're not these heartless people all the time. Now, I can say that because I'm not in this situation, so I can be more open-minded and really look at it for what it is. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably wouldn't be saying this if I was Austin Metcalf's father, so I can see both sides. I'm just saying for people on the outside looking in, I think why add all the hatred to it? There's nothing wrong with what you, that part of what you just said, Rick. There's nothing wrong with you saying that. That's some people's honest opinion. And a lot of people have that opinion. That ain't even no black or white thing. It's plenty of black people that are saying, hey, Carmelo is wrong and he need to go take his ass, he need to sit in prison. It's not even a black or white thing because I'm seeing people assuming that just because somebody's black that they think Karmelo Anthony was right. And that's like weird. Why are we doing that? Or we're assuming that just because somebody's white, they want to kill Carmelo. It's just weird that we're doing that. So just like Mr. Motivation said, black folks look real foolish. They're just showing you that. It's white people that might be backing Carmelo, but they ain't gonna show you that. They don't show you all the black people that's calling out Karmelo Anthony and his family and saying that they wrong. They won't show you that. They're only going to show you what they want to show you. That's how the media do. That's how the media do. But it was a lot going on. Where is this dude at? Because Dominique, what's his name? Dominic Xander. He had to say something. Everybody was losing their mind. Am I gonna play him next? I think I had some of the people's where just let it play. Whatever. I ain't doing nothing. I'm bored. But I'll be happy when all this is over and done with, and we can all go acting like we lose our mind and we got to see each other out and call each other names. Maybe it's just a complain about it. Maybe it's just what we do here.
All right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Good evening. I'm Greg Willis, Collin County District Attorney. Today, justice was served. A year ago, when this senseless murder unfolded, I said that it had struck a deep nerve in Collin County and far beyond. I asked our community to ignore all the noise and instead be level-headed and patient as the process worked. And today, the process delivered accountability. We are grateful to this jury, and we are grateful that the good citizens of Collin County had an opportunity to weigh in on this case. I'm proud of the exceptional work of Bill Worski and our team of prosecutors, DA investigators, and victim advocates, and all the good and outstanding men and women of the Collin County District Attorney's Office. Despite the trauma of witnessing the senseless murder at a school track meet, they cooperated fully and testified truthfully. Their courage was essential to securing justice in this case. I'm especially honored to be joined here today by Jeff and Megan Metcalf and their son Hunter. Their strength and grace through this has been their strength and grace throughout this unimaginable journey has been inspiring. They won't be taking.
Oh, I missed the motivation. I see what you're saying, man. I do.
Questions at this time, but their presence here speaks volumes about their commitment to seeking justice for Austin. I want to thank Judge Rhodes for presiding over this trial with fairness and efficiency. I want to thank Frisco PD for their investigation. I want to thank the Collin County Sheriff's Office led by Sheriff Skinner for providing the security for the courthouse. I want to thank all law enforcement throughout the county for making this a safe trial for everyone. This verdict sends a clear message. Violence like this won't be tolerated in our Collin County community, and we remain committed to protecting our schools and standing with victims and their families. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Motivation, you said 35 years is fair. He would have to live a hell for 35 and come out to a world that has passed him by tremendously. So it's a whole different hell than simply resting till Judgment Day. I think it is. I think a lot of people kind of judge the jury for what they did, but like I said, there's no way they could go too low. Those people still have to live there. They're looking at this murder. They couldn't find and I get it. I feel like those teens held back a little bit on the witness stand if people are reporting it correctly, but I don't know how people can bring up other cases. I don't know. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to bring in any other case. I'm just thinking on surface level. I'm just thinking somebody push you stab them. I don't know. 35 years, I think it's fair. A lot of people complaining about it. I do think they were fair with that. I know some people say he should have got 99 years, and I'm telling you, let that shit would have went to that judge. Woo, he would have got way more than 35. I'm telling you that. Let's see. Ross Anthony says 35 years is not fair because he will be eligible for parole in 17. Metcalf won't do that. You know what? You right. I don't think he'll get that though. I don't know. You think Ross, do you think he would get it? I don't think they will. I think this case too high profile. And I think that family is for sure going to pop up and be there. His brother damn sure gonna be there when that 17 years come. For sure. I don't know. And we talking about like in Texas. I don't know. I know a lot of people worry about that. I don't know. Yeah, that's what Mr. Motivation saying. Eligible doesn't mean he'll get out though. Yeah, I don't think he'll get it, honestly. Maybe if it was, maybe he would get parole after. Maybe he might get up where he served maybe 20 something years, but I don't. I would not bank on that. I wouldn't think it. And because if people really believe that, I don't even think his family would even be panicking. They would think like, oh, he'll get parole in 17. Don't nobody believe he gonna get out in 17. That ain't gonna happen, I don't think. Yep. Yep. I see a lot of y'all saying, hey, do the crime, do the time. Ross Anthony, he said 20 to 25. That ain't even a damn enough. Ross want him to get more time than that. Yeah, Caveman says that this family will be there every parole hearing. Carmelo's won't. You know, some people were saying Carmelo's father wasn't present at his sentencing or something. I wonder if that's true or not. I forgot to look into that before coming live. Yeah. Mr. Motivation says 17 years is a long time to be incarcerated. You become institutionalized. He'll either go right back or get his life together. Probably go right back based on stats. His hill is just beginning. I don't think he'll go right back. I don't think he'll reoffend at all. I say that because I think his situation is a little bit different because it's so high profile and stuff. I don't think he'll reoffend. I don't think he no bad kid. I don't think he no street kid at all. I think that's why he pulled a knife. Ain't no tough kid like that. Like seriously. He's athletic, just like Austin athletic. Like even when they was like, well, because Austin is taller than him and way more. If he was really that type of kid, he wouldn't be afraid just because somebody a little taller than him, or you know what I mean, or something like that. Like, no, I don't think he that type of kid at all. Let's see. Oh, Rick, I don't think he has enough. I think he spent a lot of money on that lawyer. I think the family used it to I don't know. Were they paying Dominique Alexander? Maybe they was paying his ass. He was siphoning money off of them. I don't know. Let's see. Mr. Motivation says people act like time alone is going to do something. It won't. The real punishment is losing connections, no women, no freedom, small spaces, no sunshine, among other things. Punishment is just starting. Yeah, everything that you got to go behind that wall, life moving on without you. The things that you took for granted is all that is going away, being caged like an animal. Oh man, it's got to be terrifying because think about this. He was, what they're saying, experiencing fear just at a football game under a tent, and kids his age, he's athletic just like they athletic. If he was afraid of that in prison, can you imagine? Hell yeah, he gonna be petrified if he's afraid of just other high school kids. You know, that boy there, man, that's gonna be a terrifying experience for him. He couldn't even handle the high school kids. All right.
Definitely two losses.
Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Reactions pour in after Karmelo Anthony's 35-year sentence. I'm just touching on this real quick. I really want to get to that Dominique Alexander dude because I think I think he led his family astray. The Austin Metcalf father, he came out in the beginning. He said, "Hey, y'all, let's not make this about no race." And Karmelo Anthony's family said, "Fuck that," listening to Dominique Alexander, cuckoo bird ass.
Definitely two losses. The young man Austin that lost his life, and then this young man, he's going to lose at least 17 years of his life. So it's pretty sad all the way around.
Well, I got kids. I got black kids. 35 for defending myself. It's not right. And we all know why it's not right. It's just not right. I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
Completely sick me. I wish both be able to use it right now. I have no words. No words.
All right, okay, listen to me. I get what some of y'all are saying because it looked bad. I know when I played that video, some of y'all were like, aha, see, Diabolical. I get it. It looked bad, but I swear it's not everybody. It looked bad, and I think the news know what they're doing. Because they let the white man say something nice and heartfelt. And then when you get to the black lady, she complaining about the 35-year sentence as if Karmelo the one that got stabbed and got killed. So I get what y'all are saying on the news, but the media is playing games with us, people. They playing games with us. We cannot let them distract us. Okay? Like Sly, why you put that? He's giving BJs because he can't. We still talking about a young man. Come on, man. We don't have to be that way. And none of us can be sure that he will be attacked or anything like that in prison. Okay. And it depends on where he's going anyway. They say now some prisons that goes on a lot, some prisons not as much. So he might be okay. Yeah. And let's see. Too Good Watch Again says he wasn't experiencing fear, he was experiencing embarrassment and a low it. You are despicable human if you cry racism in this case in any way. 600K raised, they spend it, go with the PD. Too Good. I thought that too. That was one of my theories. I think was embarrassment. Remember they said that one boy that acted like he didn't know him, but it turns out they think that he really was his friend. I think that was a part of it too, to be singled out amongst a group of teenagers, and you know how teenagers are, and then the one person that you're over there talking to, when they say, "Who is this person?" and he doesn't speak up for you, and you're embarrassed. I think he felt this need to, well, hell no, I ain't moving. Hell no, I ain't going nowhere. And I think he should have just got up and left. And I get it. It's embarrassing to be singled out like that in front of a group of people. I get it. You over there, you think this person is your friend. Somebody asks who you are and they don't claim you. I get it. I get it. That was a good comment. I like that you pointed out. Many people have not pointed that out, that this is like teenage embarrassment. But I was only saying what I was saying earlier is that if he's to the point where he, like how they were saying he's scared and he can't fight a high school student, I don't know how you're going to feel because you go into prison, you with some grown-ass man up in there. Let's see. Mustache says if he took a plea deal and admitted guilt, he would have gotten manslaughter 100%. I feel that way too. I think in the beginning, the family should have immediately, when they obtained a lawyer, I think they should have immediately tried to work out a plea deal. I think they fed too much into the media and stuff. I do. And I understand it was hard for them at the time because you got people doxing you, people saying things on the internet, but I don't think they should have responded to any of it. And in any type of way, I think they blamed their defense attorney for guiding them the wrong way. But what they failed to realize is Dominique Alexander was guiding them the wrong way the whole damn time too, because he was running around running his mouth like he's some type of damn lawyer. Yeah. Let's see. Motivation says, nah, it's just the whites ain't there for race or bullshit. The black folks are. Black Americans worship colorism. Marxist Democrats made sure of that. But motivation, it was some white people out there saying some racist stuff. They had the one guy like, I want to see him hanging from a tree. It was the people out there acting a fool. You know. But that older white man that was speaking, I more so agree with him and what this has been my opinion the whole time with this older white guy was saying.
Definitely two losses. The young man Austin that lost his life, and then this young man, he's going to lose at least 17 years of his life. So it's pretty sad all the way around.
I got kids. I got black kids. 35 for defending myself. It's not right. And we all know why it's not right. It's just not right. I'm hurt.
Completely sick me. I wish both be able to use it right now. I have no words.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What we gonna do? Hopefully we get past this. Like I said, we can go back to liking and loving each other into the next quote unquote racist thing happen, or what they want to say is racist. Maybe this all has been too much because they had the Rick Child case, and then now this case is like too much back to back. We got Chud the Builder, all that. I don't know. It's like somebody setting this shit up. I don't know. I don't know. I almost don't want to play this video because some of y'all in here are having too much fun in the chat when I play certain videos. The media is trying to portray us in a bad image, y'all. I promise you that, y'all. Quit falling for the media. They just want to show certain things. Yep. Yeah, Jim Porter did make a good point, and as Nicholas pointed out, the media and people running things love the divide. Yeah, they just want us divided, man. We got to start connecting based off of like-mindedness, man, not the color of the skin. You got to love each other. So see what I was saying, y'all. You have this black guy is out here and he's going against this group that are supporting Karmelo Anthony. So the brother in the suit and tie is saying, hey man, y'all, I'm tired of y'all tripping. He murdered that kid and stuff. And so they out there. But mind you, the fact that all of these people out here arguing while you got a kid dead and another kid about to go to prison just proves the point. They're just out there for an agenda. None of these people really care about the family. They just out there projecting their trauma, whatever's bothering them about America. And for this group, it would be whatever bothers them about white people, I guess.
He assaulted that fucking man. Yeah. He came out here raised banging and he pushed him. Yeah. And we ain't trying to disrespect y'all, and we not. But we ain't gonna go for this fool coming out here, going against his own kind. That's what you fuck with innocent people. Try to face for Karmelo. Try to face for Karmelo. Try to face for Karmelo. Hey, we'll send him in there, send Karmelo out. Send him in there, send Karmelo out.
Hey, tell the other supporters to bail you out. Tell them to bail you out. Tell Metcalf to bail you out. Stay back.
Continuing our team coverage, Andrea Lucia, there's been a sizable crowd. You've been out there outside the courthouse all afternoon. When the verdict came down, that was one thing. But what's the mood outside right now as we just hear from JD that the jury is back in the room and making their decision on punishment?
Yeah, everybody is sort of back in wait and see mode.
Yeah, man. Those police officers had a hard job. I would have handed out bear spray to everyone and just said bear spray the whole fucking crowd, to be honest with you, man. Just like they had no cameras in the courtroom, I would have had no crowds outside the courtroom at all. Just I want the whole street clear. Yeah.
They have once again scattered. They're all seeking shelter in the shade. When the verdict came down, though, they had all consolidated right here in front of the courthouse. They were standing out here waiting to hear what the jury's decision was, and you could see the news start to ripple through the crowd. If they didn't get it from their phones, they heard it from the guy who was running through the crowd yelling, guilty of murder, guilty of murder. And there was a big reaction. It was an emotional one. There were people who were crying. There were people yelling. There were a couple who appeared to collapse on the ground. We were speaking just a little while ago to some women who came here from around Texas, one from South Dallas, one from DeSoto, about what brought them here. They said they were here to support the defendant, Karmelo Anthony, and his family. And they said that they were disappointed, that their hearts were broken by this verdict. They said that they didn't feel like the system works in this case. Listen to what they had to say.
I feel like, and this is just my perspective, from everything that has been put out in regards to this case, I feel like more so with the jury that he had amongst what is supposed to be his peers, they weren't going to look at actual facts of the situation. They were going off of emotions and color. And unfortunately with that, he wasn't going to get a fair fight in this.
And those supporting Karmelo Anthony have in particular been upset by the absence of any Black jurors in this trial. Now, there was a bit of a mix from what we could tell of white, Middle Eastern, and Southeast Asian ethnicities on the jury, but no juror who identified as Black. And in a trial that already had some heightened racial tensions, that is a big point of contention among some of the protesters out here. Again, those who are out here supporting Karmelo Anthony. Law enforcement, meanwhile, has been very aware of the tension out here. They have been present. We have seen McKinney police. We have seen Collin County deputies. We've even seen state troopers, and you might be able to see them behind me. They have been, at times up there on the courthouse steps. Right now, I see them parked in front of the courthouse. They are keeping watch. The protesters who are out here throughout the day, I told you, they are seeking shelter in the shade, but they are still out here. They are still waiting to see if anything else comes out this day, and if we will hear a sentence coming out this evening.
A Texas jury found 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin.
But I think people have to realize too, like what that lady was saying when she was like, I don't think the jury looked at the evidence. It was all off the color of his skin. I don't even think she probably wasn't even in the courtroom at all. But because they made it racial, it's bringing up all this, historical trauma, man, with black people in the justice system. And she honestly has no belief that jury looked at any evidence. She cannot believe it at all, that they looked at any evidence. Did I let me make sure this is the next one I want to. Okay. So now I'm about to get into this dude who I feel like this guy. I feel like this guy here. This is Karmelo Anthony's spokesperson speaks out after sentencing. And I feel like this guy was one of the first mistakes. When you got a high profile case like this, and when you get into any legal trouble, it matters how you handle it and having a game plan. Even though Karmelo, I feel like he would have been found guilty either way, but people never think about this. Even if you're found guilty, you got to think about when you get sentenced. Will they have mercy on you? Or will people not like you very much and throw the book at you?
Austin Metcalf in April of 2025 during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. He was just sentenced to 35 years in prison. And to lay this all out for you, due to the rain, there was bad weather. The track events were delayed that day, and Anthony, a high school student, such
My bad, I think I glitched.
that day, and Anthony, a Centennial High School student, sought shelter under a Memorial High School tent. Moments later, an argument broke out, and Anthony was asked repeatedly to leave that tent. One witness claimed Anthony responded by calling the group a name before he reached into his backpack saying, quote, "Touch me and see what happens," end quote. After some shoving, Anthony pulled out a pocket knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest, piercing his heart. Prosecutors argued that the killing was a provoked and unjustified murder. They called 21 witnesses. The defense argued it was self-defense. Karmelo Anthony did not testify in his own defense. Immediately after the jury's decision, protesters gathered outside, claiming this was the latest example of Black lives not mattering.
But what this process did is shown that Black lives do not matter in Collin County. This trial showed that it put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that Black life.
Why do Dominique Alexander think he Martin Luther King? Like, it's people probably get mad at me. I just do not trust this guy at all. I think the family should have got the hell away from him. Seriously. People thought this dude was the lawyer or something, thought he was on the legal team. He just supposed to be the spokesperson or whatever. Mr. Run his damn mouth. All he ever wanted to do was promote his nonprofit, whatever. All he ever wanted to do was present his organization. That's it. I'm not gonna play all of the video, but even when the family first had a press conference, it was supposed to be about the case. It's the one where they removed Austin Metcalf's father from the press conference. That conference was supposed to make it should have been used to make the public look a little bit more favorable on Karmelo Anthony. Yes, he did something wrong. He did something that many might say is unforgivable, but it should have been used as a way to make the family look sorry, like we're sorry this happened. Oh, we apologize. Please. Instead, Dominique Alexander used it as a way to promote his organization. And I'm sorry, regardless if you on Karmelo Anthony's side or not, most people would agree that if you are the person that is alive, you cannot get on TV and make yourself look like the victim when the other person is no longer breathing. That their tactics, their game plan, everything was off from the beginning of all this shit.
Life is not safe in Collin County.
Minister Dominique Alexander is the man that you just heard from in that video. He
said
life is not safe in Collin showed that it put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that Black life is not safe in Collin County.
Minister Dominique.
See how I say he say the wrong things? He said shows putting emotion over the law. You never say something that your opposition could turn around and use on you. The people that's with Austin Metcalf are going to say, really? Emotion over the law? You don't think you're putting your emotion over the law when you say somebody should be stabbed for getting pushed? You see what I'm saying? Is he just say dumb things that whatever.
Nick Alexander is the man that you just heard from in that video. He is a spokesman for the Anthony family. Minister, it's nice to have you on. You keep saying that Black lives don't matter, but no Black lives were lost here. A 17-year-old white person was killed. So what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is
Mr. Motivation. I'm gonna show that again. Yeah, he's a damn baby shaker, is what he is, and he likes to beat women up too. Okay, and not only is he's a baby shaker, he got a slap on the wrist at first. So that's what I'm saying. People have to think about how they fight their battles. You cannot say that you stay in this. Damn, I'm gonna lose my black card. Last time I did the video, they got mad, but I cannot lie. I just can't lie, because I really don't care about the color of people's skins. I fuck with people off of being like-minded, having a moral code. And I don't think Dominique Alexander says, I don't think he thinks about the stupid shit he says. He's saying they're not safe, right? He says all this racism. If I was talking to him, I would say, my nigga, you shook a 2-year-old, got a slap on the wrist, brought more attention to yourself, and they had to adjust your sentencing because they realized they did it wrong. Why? Because you shook a 2-year-old, right? And you didn't even bother to complete your programs. He had like anger management programs and things he had to complete because of shaking the 2-year-old, his girlfriend's 2-year-old, right? He didn't even finish his programs like he was supposed to. So you could say all this racism, but you're a black guy that fucking shook a 2-year-old, my guy. They didn't throw you under the jail. You still out here on the streets running your damn mouth. I just don't think he thinks about what he's saying. There's a way to make his argument, but he don't know how to make it, because I think he Dr. Martin Luther King, and he's just recycling old speeches that he saved.
it's 35 years. Karmelo Anthony was sentenced to 35 years. Yet at the end of the day, Black America repeatedly is told that self-defense is a part of the law. That a knife under 5 inches is legal in the state of Texas. That stand your ground is legal here in the state of Texas. But when a Black person try to use those same basic rights and laws, then we're not afforded those things. We're doing those things unjustifiably.
Well, that's not what a jury found today. Can you tell me, I know you know Karmelo Anthony well, why did he bring a knife to a track meet?
I can't comment on that. What I can do, I can't speak for Karmelo Anthony, but I can tell you that the state of Texas made it legal. So at the end of the day, if a person got a problem with it, they might need to call Governor Greg Abbott and tell him, why does this state have open carry laws? Why does it have brass knuckles and etc. Right?
Stabbing somebody in the heart, though, sir, is definitely not legal. He could have just turned around and walked out of that tent at any moment.
And based on what you have been told about the situation, I can see how you can take that fact. But the levels of injustice that was done in this trial is not how I was told, right? But at the end of the day, that's the reason why we're going to go through a full appeals process to ensure that the facts are being told correctly.
And y'all see why he shouldn't even be speaking. Even when the guy asked him about him bringing a knife to school, if he was a lawyer or intelligent in any type of way, he would have just simply said, even if people didn't agree with it, he would at least said, look, the knife was under 5.5 inches. Legally, he was allowed to have the knife. But he don't really have an answer for that. So he just goes, I can't answer that. I'm not, like he would have thought of something to say. He just be out here running his damn mouth, man. I really don't. I don't like this guy. I think the family should have got away from him, man. I think he corrupted, and they got to take accountability for it. But he corrupted that mom. I think especially the mom. He corrupted them into, oh yeah, you do this, you do that. And I don't know if anybody saw the Breakfast Club interview with I can't play it because Breakfast Club won't let me play and react to their stuff. But in the Breakfast Club interview, the mom and the dad now, because they were complaining because they said they had a white lawyer and they said it was a setup. But at the same time, they also said that they were going around talking to other black people. And they said black people were telling them, oh, you need to get you a white attorney. You need to get this. So they allowed this racist stuff to corrupt them even to the point when they were talking about getting a lawyer, when really they should have just been thinking about getting the best possible defense lawyer. You see what I'm saying? Like, I blame all of them, but I think it started with this guy right here.
But me and you are going to go back and forth.
No, that's fine. Tell me. I'm curious. Tell me. Tell me what you think happened.
What I think is the situation is that someone asked Karmelo Anthony to come over there. He knew an individual, but that's not being told, right? It's like, oh, a kid just randomly went under a tent, right? And he just sitting there. No one knows who he is. That's not the case, right? We know.
Shout out Cat Daddy May said we ain't out here saying free Dirk and YNW Melly. They did that shit, lock them up. You know the difference between fair and unfair. And you are correct, because it's the same thing with Pooh Shiesty and other people. And like that black guy in the video we played that was going against a group of people saying, hey, he murdered that kid. He's wrong. But, the media going to play who they want to play so that we can all fight and argue. I remember Paul Mooney himself saying, Paul Mooney talked a lot about race. And I remember Paul Mooney said, we're going to have to put this racist shit on hold. We can get back to it after the war, but we're going to have to put it on hold. Because we either going to hang individually, one by one, or we're going to hang all together. Because these people are making decisions, doing what they want to do. And they just keep us in these little stupid ass arguments at the bottom.
Know that Karmelo Anthony knew an individual. He knew a coach. He spoke about it. We also know that Frisco ISD should have counseled that. This wasn't just raining. We were under a tornado watch that day, right? And this should have been something that was actually...
Wait, you're telling me that because somebody invited him to that tent and there might have been a tornado warning, which happened all the time in Texas, that he was warranted in stabbing a 17-year-old kid in the chest, in the heart, and killing him?
That's not the case. But what you cannot do is put your hands on someone.
Well, you just told me that was the case.
No.
Is that the case? Because I want to know what the case is. I seriously do.
You asked me the first time, why was he under the tent or close or whatever it may be, right? The reality is that the state of Texas says that I don't have to, when I'm assaulted, I don't have to return the same level of force, correct? Isn't that the law?
Yeah, he was asked to leave that tent multiple times, and the prosecution called 21 witnesses.
What the hell did he just say about the force?
That's the
He was
law.
asked to leave that tent multiple times.
The same level of force, right? The reality is that the state of Texas says that I don't have to, when I'm assaulted, I don't have to return the same level of force, correct?
This the guy that's speaking for the family. What the hell he talking about? The law actually says it has to be equal force. Why would he say that? The law say it got to be equal force. Unless you can prove that you fear bodily harm, severe bodily harm, or death. Why would he say that? Tissue says Metcalf needs someone to speak for him. Did you hear the dad's racist rant? Shows you how Austin grew up. I heard the dad's racist rant. I think he is a victim, just like the mother and the father are a victim. And I think the same way they have all received threats from the opposite side. And so to Austin Metcalf's father, it feels like all black people are attacking him. That's how it feels to him. You have to understand that if you was in his position, when you turn on your TV, the media is showing you black people saying that your son deserved to die simply because he was white. That is what that man is seeing. And so, hell yeah, he probably lashed out and said some racist ass shit. The same, like, I hate when, like, people got to be real. It's like nobody's real anymore. That's one thing I hate about this new world. When I was growing up, old white man and old black man kept it real. Nobody want to be real no more. If you a white man and your son just got stabbed in the heart and died, I don't care if my son pushed you on the shoulder. You gonna kill him for that? You can't duke it out with him. You can't body slam him. And then I got to turn on my TV and then he could, mind you, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong in what I'm viewing. But all I know is I'm turning on my TV. I got people doxing me too. And my son died. I got people doxing me and my son, the one that died. And people SWAT my house. And then I turn on the news and I see black people defending the fact that, yeah, my son should have died because you know how them white people is. Hell yeah, I come out my mouth and say, F you black people. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would say it because that's what I'm seeing. And I'm mourning and I'm in a state of weakness where I'm going to lash back out and hurt y'all the way y'all hurting me. And people have to see things like that and understand what they're seeing. The same way with Karmelo Anthony's family, when they turn on their TV, the media is going to show them white people saying, yeah, hang that nigga from a tree. Yeah. They're going to lash back out too and say, man, F all y'all white people, man. That's how y'all feel. Because y'all adults allowed it to turn racist. I can look at it and see it for what it is. And I'm not going to blame him for doing it. He hurt, whatever. That he see it, he angry. Especially when, can you imagine, especially when you the one that come out and say, hey, I don't want to make this racial. And then black people tell you your son should have died because he white. Hell yeah, he lashed out and said some shit. I ain't mad at him for saying it. I understand why he's saying it. I just got to keep it real. Whatever. He mad, he angry. The shit don't hurt me anyway because it's just words. People words don't really have no power for me like that. He's hurt and he's angry. I got to keep it real. I'm sorry. I just can't lie. He lashing out, he angry, he hurt. And I think many of that was directed at Karmelo Anthony's father, because they've been taking little shots at each other. They've been taking shots at each other the whole time. So
isn't that the law?
Yeah, he was asked to leave that tent multiple times, and the prosecution called 21 witnesses. Hold on. The prosecution called 21 witnesses, and they all corroborated that. They all said that he was asked to leave the tent. There might have been.
They all didn't have, no, sir. No,
he
sir.
was asked to leave the tent, so he could have left that tent at any time. He chose not to. That's why he's going to jail for 35 years.
All 21 of them did not have the same story. They did not have the same story. And that's why so many people outside of that courtroom is outraged right now. If you look at anything about this case, all 21 of them did not have the same story.
Tell me about the defense witness, because the defense did not call Karmelo Anthony. If Karmelo Anthony truly thought he was innocent, he's 19 years old. He's not a kid. He's 19 years old. Why didn't he take the stand in his own defense? And why did the defense's only witness change their story on the witness stand?
Karmelo Anthony testifying in his own trial is his own right? And that's a decision that Karmelo Anthony and his parents has to make, right? And that was a decision that was made through the legal process, right? And through this process, of course, there's going to have to be some major reviews, right? But as far as changing the witness changing what he changing his testimony, I'm trying to figure out how someone going to say he changed his testimony. Were you privy to his testimony prior to?
Well,
let's see. Tissues. I'm gonna take a picture of that tissues and I'll look that up. I'm not familiar with that one at all. I think I've heard reviews from lawyers that said that usually you want to put your person on the stand when they're doing like a self-defense case. Maybe they practiced that and they just had no confidence that he could get up on that stand and not make himself look worse. And I remember somebody brought up, they said, what if the prosecutor would have cross-examined Karmelo and then told him, like, because I heard in some cases they can do things like make him like, here, pick up the murder weapon, hold it. And it just would, I think it would have got nasty. I see why they didn't put him up there, to be honest with you. I don't think it would have made him look good. Sometimes you got people that get up on that stand and be convincing and show people they're remorseful or something. You know, I don't think Karmelo perhaps, I don't know if he has that capability. I don't really know what his personality is in situations like that. Would it make the jury hate him even more? Or would it make him like him more? You just don't know.
Well, he changed his testimony. He was during cross-examination. He said that there was not an altercation under the tent and he didn't witness an altercation. So I don't think that was something the defense was planning on. And clearly it didn't play well for this 12-person jury. Let me just ask you, can a black person ever just be convicted of killing a white person in this country without it becoming like a major race issue? Like some of the comments that you made outside the courthouse today, I don't know why you do that. You stir things up, you make it about race, and that could lead to rioting and protests and looting tonight. The bottom line is more people could get hurt. More people could get hurt.
I'm glad that you will say that,
Now the reporter, he bullshitting on that one. Each side made it about race. Everybody who participated got to take accountability for that. I damn sure don't like Dominique Alexander. I think he was a part of it, but on his side. But on the other side, somebody else got to take responsibility for that. But I do agree with the reporter saying he need to shut his mouth.
Why do we have to bring race in this situation? The reality is that if you know about this,
I didn't say we. I said you.
Hold on,
Why do you? Why do you, Dominic? Not the black race.
No. Let me make this very clear. As the president of the largest.
Okay, but he did kind of misspoke for a reason. I'm glad he cleared it up and said, well, not the black race. You. But the way it came out, it was different.
Human and civil rights organization in North Texas. What I witnessed on April 3rd was white people going on posts and social media calling Karmelo Anthony a thug, not a 4.0 GPA, not a person that
Well,
was
he's a
pending 62
convicted murderer
scholarships. Hold
tonight,
on,
so
let me
he's a
finish.
thug.
Let me finish.
He's a thug. He's not a hero.
When you
He's not a
sit here and say
hero.
a black man is bringing race, his race shouldn't have never been a factor. He shouldn't have never. Jake Lane, I don't see you calling out Jake Lane that said Karmelo Anthony should sit there and be hung from a tree and shot outside the Collin County jail. I never brought race into this situation. We had to.
I didn't bring race into the situation either. You brought race into this when you made those comments that we played at the beginning of the segment, making this about race.
We have to make sure that due process is done. All we want is our rights and be afforded the same basic rights that everyone is afforded to, sir. And I'm sorry if I gotta talk about my race to make sure that I can have the same afforded right that a white
Dominic, he had a fair trial, and you're certainly open. You can appeal that. But the last time I checked, it's not legal for white people to stab black people in the state of Texas either.
Hey,
Dominic Alexander, appreciate you being here. We got to leave it there.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.
Well, I don't know. Speaking of what's legal or illegal, it ain't supposed to be legal. The shake babies, and stuff like that. It's so weird. Just in this video I'm about to play, this like just seven years ago, this guy was facing accusations. Even if he didn't even really hit his girlfriend, I think accusations is enough. When you got a high profile case like this, you shouldn't attach yourself to anybody that has any type of accusations with abuse or any type of thing that's violent. You know, you got to him with the 2-year-old shaking the 2-year-old. Then you got him being accused of hitting his girlfriend, you know. Oh, damn, I just so happened to click on this while I'm saying this. Vidal says grifter grifting. I think most people would label him a grifter, right? Let's see. This is what they say about Dominique Alexander. 5-year prison sentence. Dominique Alexander, Dallas-based activist and president of, that's what it's called, Next Generation Action Network, was sentenced to 5 years in prison in 2016 for multiple probation violations following his 2011 conviction for injuring his ex-girlfriend's 2-year-old child. Right? Probation violations, missing probation. So by 2015, Alexander had violated his probation multiple times, including. So he's talking about, let's see. So 2011 pleads guilty. 2015, he's not locked up, right? Because he has probation violations. So missing probation meetings, leaving the state without permission, arrest for traffic warrants and other offenses. So guy shakes and injures a 2-year-old, gets probation, leaves this. He doesn't bother with his probation meetings, leaves the state without permission, and has traffic warnings. And so this is the guy talking about what should be legal or what being. Oh my God. That's why I say he don't think about what he be saying. He not protected in Texas. Look like you protected very well, buddy. If you can beat a 2-year-old's ass and get probation and be cocky enough that you don't bother to go to your probation meetings, and you just get traffic warrants and other offenses while being on probation for beating a 2-year-old's ass, I think Texas is a pretty cool place for you.
Nick Alexander has been an outspoken advocate against police brutality, but now he's under investigation for domestic violence. Just last month, Alexander was denouncing the beating in Deep Ellum, in which a woman was pummeled. And now his girlfriend is telling police he did the same thing to her. David Goins reports.
He is perhaps the most publicly vocal voice of Dallas activists concerned with police use of force. But tonight, Dallas police confirmed they are investigating Dominique Alexander after the 30-year-old girlfriend told police he struck her. Sources have told WFAA that she suffered a broken ankle in an altercation with Alexander last night.
She's hurt, she's scared, she's in a lot of pain.
Fellow activist Jeff Hood knows both Alexander and the victim well. Hood says she called him and he met her at Medical City Las Colinas last night where she was being treated.
It was very clear that something had happened.
Hood says he then drove her to DPD to file a report. Dallas police tells WFAA an individual arrived at the Northwest Patrol Division and reported an allegation involving a Dominique Alexander. The Dallas Police Department Family Violence Unit is currently investigating the allegation. It's an allegation that Alexander took to Facebook Live Wednesday afternoon to say he knew nothing about.
I cannot speak on the allegations that yet is against me. However, because I am unaware of the allegations and alleged allegations regarding me.
Alexander is most well known as being part of a large group that helped organize a...
I'm telling you, he's copying Martin Luther King. I'm convinced. I cannot speak on the allegations against me. But what I can speak to is that there's no way that I put my hands on that woman. I swear for God, I did not beat that ass. I did not beat that ass. In this great state of Texas, we need to change the laws that allow men like me to beat 2-year-olds, to shake them violently and to injure them. Can you believe they only gave me probation and let me walk free? We need to change these laws that allow men like me. Yeah, he think he Martin Luther King.
Protest in Dallas after the death of 2 black men by police in the summer of 2016. 5 Dallas officers were killed at the end of the protests on July 7th by gunmen unrelated to the protest. But his criminal past follows him too, including convictions for felony injury to a child, which resulted in him being rearrested for violating terms of probation 3 years ago.
I think there is no question that Dominique needs help.
Hood says he still counts him as a friend, but says his focus tonight is on the woman speaking out after a domestic violence incident. DPD continues to investigate. In Dallas, I'm David Goins.
Dallas activist Dominique Alexander facing criminal domestic violence charges, but right now it's not. Dallas activist Dominique Alexander facing criminal domestic violence charges, but right now it's not going to happen in Dallas County. That's because the DA today recused his office. Steve Pickett live for us over Dallas City Hall, where the woman who filed the complaint against Alexander had a little something to say today. Steve?
Doug, Dominique Alexander still in custody here in Dallas County, and as you mentioned, his case in legal limbo as well. That is a result of District Attorney John Creuzot's office issuing this statement earlier this morning. DA's office will recuse itself from activist Dominique Alexander's domestic violence case because of a conflict of interest. That conflict of interest, well, Alexander actively campaigned for John Creuzot and his campaign for the DA's office in the past year. Special prosecutor will now have to be appointed. Alexander, the head of Next Generation Action Network, is accused of physically assaulting the mother of his children. Kiara Saunders told police about 2 acts of violence against her from last Wednesday. That is her accusation.
What you talking about, Carmen? Well, who said what about what? You talking about me? I allow somebody to say something? I don't even know what y'all arguing. Oh, I think that's. Oh, you probably talking about what I said about Austin Metcalf's father and the things he said. I don't know what he said about any woman on the couch. I saw some of what he said, but I didn't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't about to listen to a whole hour of that shit. To be real with you, I looked at the highlights. Put in the chat what part you talking about. What you saying he said. I listened to some of it, but I didn't listen to all of it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you're talking about me though. When I was saying when he said the things that he said, I said the guy is hurt and he's angry. And even like Karmelo Anthony's parents, they called somebody that had been harassing them, and when they called the guy to prove the things that people are saying to them. Austin Metcalf's father has people calling him, emailing him, and saying things to him too. And I think they're just lashing out at people. So I understood where he was coming from when he was saying things, but I don't know about the black woman. But I don't know. She might be talking about somebody in the chat. I don't know if she's talking about something I said though. Yeah. But people gonna say things. As they said, I'd be mad too. My skin was shit colored. Like, you know, people gonna say racist things. Let's see. Kelly says, if it was the other way around and that white boy stabbed him, black people would be screaming for justice. For the black boy, even if it was self-defense. I'm sick of everything being about race. Yeah, you know, but Kelly, I think people are pointing out things that have happened where which, you know, I really honestly want to do some research into this and see, do white people tend to get off more in these cases? Because the media does highlight cases where white people kill black people and it seems like they're getting off. And so then you have a case like this and the black boy gets found guilty. And so these people are not screaming and angry for no reason, but they're just going by what the media shows them, you know. But I would like to do my own research in that and see if it's really how it is and how the media shows it. To me, this case wasn't about skin color. When I first heard about it, I didn't think nothing about it. I just heard the story and I remember thinking to myself, oh man, that's sad. 2 teenagers get into it at the thing and one dies. I just thought it was a sad story. I swear I didn't think nothing about it. A couple of days went by and all of a sudden it blows up because people added the racial thing to it.
Arrest affidavit indicates that Alexandra allegedly choked her after an argument, and then also in that case, continually pushed her. Saunders, speaking today for the first time publicly about all of this, who is also, by the way, a candidate for a Dallas City Council seat in Oak Cliff. Well, she said little about it specifically, but we know she went to the hospital, then to police.
In spite of all the negativity, I am strong.
That's right. That's right.
I am strong. I am resilient. And I will not allow these incidents to deter me from my goals.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I have a dream. I have a vision. There is work to be done.
Part of this process for Dominique Alexander, the criminal justice system, he remains in jail because there's also an issue in Arlington that dates back to 2015, an accusation of another assault against this woman. For whatever reason, Arlington did not move on that case until now. So it too is part of the reason why he remains in custody. We are told he will post bond. He will get an electronic monitor, will be released, but don't expect that to actually happen until Monday. Monday.
Trying to see. Kelly, I want to play that. I want to play part of that video too, where I feel like this is kind of where the family messed up a little bit when it comes to this trial. Well, not the trial, but even before the trial happened or whatever. Let's see. See, Carmen said, you say he's going to keep, they going to keep talking like that as long as the black man don't stand up for the black woman. What that man said about Carmelo's mother was way across the line. What did he say about, I'm going to have to look that up. What did he say about the mom? Yeah, but if you're talking about Austin Metcalf's dad, I'm not listening to. Those two families are beefing right now, and what they say to each other is just what they say to each other. I'm not going to tie anything racist to it anymore. I'm not. They just two families mad and angry. They've been taking shots at each other. So
Reporting live, Steve Pickett, CBS 11 News.
Do that. And all I'm going to say, so they don't disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement.
all right, so this is that conference where the father was thrown out. But also for people who ain't believe me before, this is an article about Mr. Baby Shaker. This is the article. I'm not even gonna bother reading it. Because I feel like I played, but here goes. Alexander was given 5 years probation in 2011 after pleading guilty to an injury to a child charge. By 2013, he was back in court for violating the terms. Okay, so now I did a video on all this before, but when I was looking at the reactions to the trial, and people were saying like, "Oh my goodness, this guy really was." When the family says that they received bad counsel, it was their Breakfast Club interview, and when they said, "Oh, I really received bad counsel," and they put it all on the lawyer, but they didn't say anything about this guy here. And so let me play this. He's going to begin to talk about the father, and this is where he starts taking shots. At this press conference, they start taking shots at the father. And since he's the spokesperson, whatever he says out his mouth, he's like an extension of the family. And so the Metcalf family is going to take offense to that, obviously.
I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not. And as a minister, I will not attack a grieving family.
Oh, hold on. Let me rewind it a little bit.
I can tell.
I'll just start it from the beginning.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life, no matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family.
And you see, he's saying that regardless how anybody feels about Austin Metcalf, father showing up to the press conference, whatever. But I feel like there's a way that I don't think they should even address it. And to say I wouldn't attack a grieving family while saying I heard some things, but I ain't even said nothing about the things that we know is a threat. Just call it what it is. It's a threat to say, hey man, don't make me tell you, don't make me say what I know. It's a shot. Shots fired is what it is. And he goes, the next generation, he keeps repeating his organization like it means anything to anybody.
Even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words.
That fool, man, he crazy. Thomas, I heard about that, but somebody says that's fake news. They said nobody really peed on the grave site of Austin Metcalf. People were saying that, but I think they said that's not true. He said like he not supposed to be around his family. He said it as if the way he said that and worded that, you would think, like, think about this. If you was a person watching this from the outside looking in, like say you just didn't know nothing about this case, the way he just said that, you would think that this is the family whose son died. The way he said that. And I think that's what made those in the public, certain people, like really turn against this family. But it's him talking and speaking. I'm telling you, I think that I really wish more mature people would have been involved with this. And I think this would have been a rare opportunity that doesn't really get to happen to people. We should have had people that really, like, people that are licensed therapists, psychologists, mediators. I think that father sincerely wanted to reach out. And I think the Karmelo Anthony's family, I think they missed the opportunity to really save their son's life. And this fool up here, Mr. Baby Shaker, he liked to shake things up. I remember when I first heard this, I was like, why the fuck he say that? I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Yeah, Jules said they did miss that opportunity. Yeah. I think they missed a rare opportunity that even he would have to plead or something. He'd be found guilty. I think it would have worked out better for him. I think public perception would have been better. I'm sorry, even if you feel like it's self-defense. When it's self-defense, even people that fight self-defense cases, they don't do all this talking and all this shit on the internet, and they got a spokesperson and all this crap, man. They kind of are humble because they want to show remorse, like I had to take a life. And I feel like the family thought this stuff would help them. I think choosing Dominique Alexander to be their leader and lead this, I think it was the wrong decision. I don't think he did them any favors. I'm just being honest. Yeah. Oh man. I'm trying to think. Well, hold on. Let me see. Is that all he said? Because I can't remember.
Okay. What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright.
And mind you, at this time, he's lying on that man because that man came forth and told other people, hey, y'all, don't make this about race. Leave that alone. So he's lying on the father too at this point in time. The father is finally at the point where he don't give a damn no more. And it's probably settling in that his son, you know, is dead and people are still saying and doing shit. But at this time, the father wasn't saying that.
Disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today, I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go.
Yeah, I'm not listening to him all over again. I can't do it. Let me check something real quick. Let me see something. Okay. Is that all I need to go over?
Aaron, you were inside this courtroom tonight when families shared their impact statements. Take us all inside those moments.
Yes, Doug, I was in the courtroom when the sentencing portion of this trial concluded, and we watched Karmelo Anthony as that sentence was read, 35 years. And right after that, you could see him visibly shaking. He was crying. I also looked over to the Metcalf family, and they had no visible outward reaction. It wasn't until that victim impact statement that we started to hear from them directly. First, Austin's mother, Megan Metcalf, spoke about the loss of her son. She said she misses talking to him. Now my conversations with him are one-sided, sitting at his grave. I have to accept that instead of walking beside me, he's walking above me. She described Austin as a loving son who is always quick to offer a hug and loved starting his day early. Austin's father, Jeff Metcalf, said the saddest part is we don't get to see you achieve all your goals. We were robbed, telling Anthony it's about right and wrong. Your consequence is accountability. You will face those consequences starting today. Jeff spoke about the anger he has carried since his son's death, but also the faith that helped him endure. Lastly, Austin's twin brother, Hunter Metcalf, addressed the court. He said, "You took a son, a brother, a friend, my best friend from this world. You took someone away from me who was supposed to be an uncle to my kids." Both Jeff and Hunter Metcalf asked Anthony to look at them while they spoke. Anthony was looking down a lot. After Hunter's statement, Anthony was escorted from the courtroom, again crying and shaking. Then we heard from Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis, who held a news conference. Here's what he had to say.
A year ago, when this senseless murder unfolded, I said that it had struck a deep nerve in Collin County and far beyond. I asked our community to ignore all the noise and instead be level-headed and patient as the process worked. And today, the process delivered accountability.
And the Metcalf family was at the press conference. They wanted their presence known, but they did not want to take any questions. One of the things that Jeff Metcalf talked about during the victim impact statements was being under a gag order and how hard that was for him, especially with all the social media talk that has gone on during this trial. So, Doug, I have no doubt that we will probably hear from him in the future. Reporting live, Aaron Jones, CBS News, Texas.
When they gave Karmelo the verdict, he broke down and he cried. He broke down and he cried.
How do you know that?
He broke down. She was in there with him.
Hold on one second.
Be on camera. She broke down and cried.
So explain to me what the
when
woman
they came back with the verdict, he broke down and he cried. Somber. That family there is not good. That boy's not good. You've been in there. I done talked to you before. You've been in there. That boy's small. That boy broke down and cried. They done fucked up the rest of this boy's life.
When you're out here and you see all these people, you've been here every day. I know. When you hear that verdict read, I saw you break down to the ground. What's going through your heart? What's going through your head right now?
Why do we have to care anymore? Why are we even here? To be honest, why are we here? What are we here for? Because if we take up for ourselves, we go to jail. If we don't, we die. So it's a catch-22 in this situation. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. Let me ask you this. Right now, I hear the frustration. Are you more angry or more sad as to what just happened?
I'm angry and I'm hurt. I'm angry because you were in there. I was in there too. Those witnesses were lying on him. You got the judge friends with the prosecutor. Let's start there. The judge was falling asleep. Some juries was falling asleep and didn't even have a damn notepad. Y'all didn't take this shit seriously.
All right, Austin, come this way because it looks like the crowd is moving, and we're just gonna kind of stay with us. Yep. As the crowd kind of goes this way, we're just gonna kind of make sure come this way. So, excuse me, sir, is this the Anthony family?
Yeah. We love y'all.
So, Connell,
I want to go talk to them. They're going to go over there in the grass.
Okay.
Not out here in the road.
So it looks like family is leaving right now.
You did a damn good job representing him.
So this is the Anthony family representation. Connell, he's been speaking. Hey,
you hear that loud as Dominique, you did a damn good job. No, he did not.
On behalf of the family.
I got you, Connor. I was going to say, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to have this conversation now, but if you are going to have it here, I thought it was going to be a different location. Let's just listen live to this. And then Rich McHugh in a moment has a Metcalf family statement that'll put some more context. But this is on the Karmelo Anthony side, just out of the courthouse. All right, go ahead, X. Sorry, brother.
So that I can be able to able to. I'm gonna duck down. I will say this. I will say this one time, and one time only. I speak on behalf of myself, Minister Dominique Alexander. I speak on behalf of myself as president of the Next Generation Action Network. The Next Generation Action Network wanted to respect this process, to be able to make sure that nobody said that the Next Generation Action Network is this process, feared in this process. But what this process did is shown that Black lives do not matter in Collin County. It showed us that time and time in American history, it has shown emotions. It put emotions over the law. It put emotions over the law. Emotions.
Is that me?
It showed us that time and time in American history, it has shown emotions.
Oh, that's not me. That's the news people, their actual live feed. Okay.
It put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that Black life is not safe in Collin County. It showed us that they did not listen to the law. It showed clearly that a judge interfered in this process. It showed very clearly that a Black boy was allowed, not one Black soul on a jury. An all white jury convicted him in 2 to 3 hours. We know that they did not prove their case. They are currently sentencing Karmelo Anthony, but we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Collin County like hell. I respected this process. I allowed and called for peace in this process. But Black America should be very upset about what went on today.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our.
Yeah, he had to soak up that airtime when he came out there. He had to shout out his organization and what he's doing and his 10 grand that he put towards. It is parts of me that I do feel like I feel like the defense, if it is true that they didn't do objections, like I don't know, a defense attorney that one objection. Yeah, I do question the striking of the Black women teachers. I didn't know they say they're allowed to strike for that. I think that's weird to strike somebody, to be able to strike people because they're a teacher, but I have heard other lawyers speak on it and say that, and these were criminal lawyers, lawyers that do criminal cases. They said that prosecutors, they tend to not like teachers. That is a real thing. They try to get them up out of there. You know, they don't want educators in the jury. So I don't know. Did he get a fair trial? I don't know. I do think they should have had at least one Black person on that jury, especially in a high profile case like this. I don't think there's any excuse for that. At least one. At least one. because they know by the time they had that trial, they already knew what it was. I think they should at least have one just to make sure they did everything fairly, even if it was just for, what did people say, for optics? Even if it was just for that. So I think my overall view, just with them having Dominique Alexander speaking for them, when people say don't shoot the messenger, it's such a, I hate when people say that. People say, did you get the message? The messenger matters. Okay. I'm sorry, Dominique Alexander could come up there and say the correct thing. It doesn't even matter. All I see is a baby shaker. That's all I see. So, and that is pretty much it. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go make me something. Hold on. I think I actually got one more I want to play. I think this say
teenager sentenced this week to
Did I
35 years
play
in
this?
prison for killing a fellow high school athlete. On Tuesday, a jury found 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. His lawyers plan to appeal. They say prosecutors wrongly excluded Black people from the jury. Anthony's parents spoke with Jonah Kaplan about their son, the trial, and their message to the Metcalf family.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
It took less than 3 hours for a jury to reject 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argued Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being taunted and shoved by Metcalf and his teammates at a high school track meet.
Take us inside that courtroom. What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
At the sentencing hearing, the defense called only one witness on Anthony's behalf, his mother, Kayla Hayes.
What did you tell the jury?
To have mercy on my son.
What do you say to his grieving family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
That poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, called Anthony's sentencing bittersweet.
What it boils down to for me is this. Austin will never walk through that door again and never give me a hug.
The case drew national attention, prompting protests in support of both teens. And both families involved say they've received threats.
This morning, I've had multiple emails, texts, threatening me, calling me all sorts of names.
During our interview, the Anthonys made a point to call back one man they say continues to dox them.
Why are you calling me, man?
To make fun of you.
Both families urged supporters to tame their emotions.
I forgave him. But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
At the end of the day, there's nothing we can say or do for people to accept us.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Jonah Kaplan in McKinney, Texas.
My Baton Rouge people, man. We love Karmelo. My Baton Rouge people. Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Love you, mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. Y'all got the last say something. Y'all got the last say something. Y'all let Karmelo know we love him. That's it. It's in the midst. Yeah. Yeah. It ain't the end of the road. This is
Yes.
Keep your head up. We got your back. That's the family. I gotta put y'all from my seat. Hey, hold up. I got you. It's my Baton Rouge people, man. You love me. My Baton Rouge people. Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Yeah, you mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. God got the last say so. God got the last say so. God got the last say so. It's my Baton Rouge people, man. You love me. My Baton Rouge people. My Baton Rouge people. Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo! Yeah, you mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. God got the last say so. God got the last say so. Y'all let Karmelo know we're going here. Hey, send a message that one person is in a flashlight. That's it. Send that message that makes you do whatever. It's in the midst. Yeah. Yeah. It ain't the end of the road. This is
Yes.
Keep your head up. We got your back. That's the family. I gotta put y'all from my seat. Hey, hold up. I got you. It's my Baton Rouge people, man. You love me. My Baton Rouge people. My Baton Rouge people. Free Karmelo! Free Karmelo!
Okay, I'm realizing that's just on repeat. You know what I'm realizing? I got the comments already saving up, going on the screen. I don't have to click the. I got them going up on the screen both ways. There's something wrong with me. I guess that's supposed to be Karmelo's. I guess his I guess that's supposed to be his grandmama. I don't know who that person is driving her. This one guy seems to be happy to see him. So hey. I don't know. It's crazy. Hopefully all this ends soon. I don't think I'm gonna talk about it again. Only way I'll come back out and talk about this again is, of course, if they were to overturn his sentence. That'd probably be the only way I come back and talk about it. Because I'm getting tired of it. And this is only
Okay,
my
I'm gonna do a testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know that you.
I think this is my third video I made about it. My second stream, and then I did an upload, and I was saying how people are using racism with approaching this situation. So who is this? Y'all know who Dr. Matthews is? Let me look it up.
Got everything? If everything is clear. Okay. Yeah, y'all come on. Yeah, because they need to be able to see. Yeah, y'all come on. Y'all stand around.
Okay.
Stand around.
Okay, great.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, y'all. Ready? Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I am the National Minister of Politics for the New Black Panther Nation. and I'm also a national renowned human civil rights activist, advocate, and author. I'm here today because I was summoned by the community. What I seen in the last nation, and I'm also a national renowned. Okay.
I had to hear this again.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, y'all. Ready? Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I am the National Minister of Politics for the New Black Panther Nation, and I'm also a national renowned human civil rights activist, advocate, and author. I'm here today because I was summoned by the community. What I seen in the past week and a half was a new era, real live lynching that happened with Karmelo Anthony. Now, I had a lot of people reaching out to me on social media. I had a lot of people tagging me and everything because I cannot be everywhere at one time. I'm all over the United States. That's right. But the thing is that when I seen that they had an actual activist and they had a legal team and they didn't have no black people on the team. That would not have happened on our watch. I don't understand how that was even able to go further than that. That should have went to the First Court of Appeals. Then after the First Court of Appeals, then it go to the Fifth Circuit Court. We would have took it all the way to the Supreme Court. That didn't happen. Another thing that I looked at is that we had people here that were paid to be moles to create chaos. See, we used to dealing with that when we on our activism travels across this United States. That would not have happened on our watch. But again, let's be clear, everything happens for a reason. But one thing I want to let the community know, just because I wasn't here doesn't mean I wasn't working. We were working behind the scenes because we knew that this was a setup from the beginning. Yes. We knew that they was going to find him guilty. We didn't know that it was going to be 35 years though, but we knew that it was going to be something that was going to be egregious. Yes. And that's why I want to give a shout out to Charleston White. I want to give a shout out to Brother Cornell X, because all of us got together so we can help this family to be able to get the proper legal team that's needed. And what we do, we're not going to push a legal team on you. We're going to give you the top of the notch, creme de la creme, and you pick who you want to fit for you. Yes. Okay? And that is exactly what we're doing right now at this time. Now, we know that they was running everything real quick with this case because I thought everything was going to be done today. I thought it was going to be done today. It was 2 days ago. And guess what? I couldn't be here for that day because guess what? Because as an activist, when you hold people accountable, they set traps for you. Yeah. I had to be in court for a case that they was trying to set me up on that got dismissed on. Okay? But guess who here today?
Yep. Dr. Matthews.
Okay? So when you're dealing with a case of this magnitude, you have to have an experienced activist. You have to have an experienced legal team. And that's exactly what we saw, okay? And I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. It is what it is. Now we are at this point where I seen a DA, I seen a judge, I seen the Metcalf family, I seen my people, and the whole United States seen what happened here. So now where we are is what the next steps, because see, I'm not going to do no press conference with no rah-rah. I don't have time for that. Now it's about action and plans of action. What I seen was that this young man, I've worked on several cases, criminal cases. I have never seen no inmate that's in a county jail going to TDC the very next day. Normally it takes 30, 60, 90 days before you are able to get on their chain to go to TDC. They hurry up and got this baby out of here. Then another thing that we also seen, that's why I'm bringing this information to you. What we also seen was that they already gave him a public defendant for the appeal. So this is why this is very evident and this is important, why I had to come here, so you don't get no misinformation. So now what's happening is that we have to ensure that there is the right, correct legal team to help in this process, because we can't have no more ball dropping, y'all. We cannot, because we have a young man's life that's at stake at this time. Now, I'm not finna get into retrying this case because that happened then. We are here now. We are here dealing with the appeals process. This is what we own, and the time clock starts now. The fight starts now. The fight starts now, people. This is not something that we just have to be, no. This is serious. This is serious. And then I want to also say to the very people that would say, well, Dr. Matthews, she's not here. No, baby, you don't know what the hell I was doing. Because at the end of the day, I'm here now. The big dog is here now. And people going to be held accountable in these streets. And one thing that I want to lay out, because I know y'all didn't know nothing about this, since what I was told by some of the court watchers, they would bring information to me and tell me how the DA was talking in that hearing, would tell me how the judge was moving in that hearing, right? Well, baby, I got some tea on them in the bag of evidence. Baby, this is a hammer bag of evidence. So, hold this for me, brother. See, I ain't come out here to play. Bring it on. I came out here, since you over here want to call this boy a murderer, then we're gonna take the covers off you. Ain't no way in hell that you need to be a damn DA with this foolishness. Did you know? Hold this, please.
I got you.
That there is a 75-page federal lawsuit for sexual harassment of the DA that was saying that Karmelo Anthony is a murderer. Well, you need to be a registered sex offender, sucker. Let me read. We ain't know that. The pot calling the kettle black cow, but you the whole DA out here. Oh, so you thought y'all was the only one that could go in PACES. And let me explain to you what PACES is. PACES is the...
How is this going to help Karmelo Anthony? Proving that the DA is a freak-a-leak does not make Karmelo Anthony not guilty. And see, this is what I be saying, like, people that hire or get real help don't hop on cameras and shout themselves out and their organization out and get themselves made up titles. I'm not sure what she says. She's a doctor of ministry of politics. I don't know. I erased it from my mind as soon as I heard it. This is not what that boy need. These some selfish people. If you're supposed to be helping me with my appeals process, I'm not sure. You need to get some information that shows that the DA did something that he wasn't supposed to do pertaining to the trial. What the detectives did when it came pertaining to the case, how they collected information, whatever mistakes they made, something wrong with the paperwork. These are the things that money buy you. When people say they're going to show up and help you for free, you can't trust them. You don't know what they're going to say. I don't know. Exposing, I don't know. Y'all let me know if that works. Does exposing the DA saying he's a freak or something, I don't know, could that get his case overturned? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. Somebody show up with rhinestones on their fingernails, and that I'm not gonna take you seriously. I'm not gonna take you seriously. Dressed like that. I'm just not.
Database for federal lawsuits. See, we have a research team, baby, that's colder than the media. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of it, show you how disgusting this joke is.
It's serious.
After Jane Doe 1 refused defendant Willis, ain't that his name, Greg Willis? Oh, okay. Advances at the Galveston TDCAA conference, he treated her quite differently in the workplace. He began demeaning and berating her. In one closed-door meeting, he told her, "You think like a child, and I would treat you like a child." Defendant Willis likely appreciated the gender slurring that is implicit in a male supervisor telling a female employee that she thinks like a child. Oh, wait a minute, it gets better. Hold on. More than once, she tried to break free, but he held her tighter. These physical encounters were unwanted and sexual.
I wasn't trying to laugh, and I'm not laughing at anything that she's reading. One of y'all put in the chat, if you sound like a used car salesman, the jig is up. And I was trying to think of what she sound like. I think Karmelo Anthony need help, but this is not the help he needs, man. I feel like these people using this boy. I just really do. I don't understand this or get this. I do not know how this is going to help him. There needs to be research. When you have people that come to help you, these are people that are not on camera. These are people that know the law, know the legal system, and they sit down, they get all the paperwork, all the transcripts, and they figure out, where did they make a mistake? Where were your rights violated when it comes to you having a trial? Was it fair? These people do not pop up, get on camera and say, the DA a freak elite. I don't know how they're going to help you when we talking about Karmelo Anthony getting an appeal, unless I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's something that says that, hey, if the DA was a sex offender, I guess, or did some freaky stuff or whatever, or was accused of something, he can be, I don't get it. And I'm not trying to, contradict myself, because I said those things about Dominique Alexander. What I'm saying is, if Dominique Alexander is these things, and we're talking about Karmelo Anthony getting an appeal, I think Dominique Alexander and like this woman, I think they're ruining his chances. Now, if I was talking about Austin Metcalf and the person who's trying the case to get justice for them, if he failed, I would say, well, they shouldn't have had a sex offender trying the case. But I'm just thinking about the whole conversation tonight is just about, what do you think will happen? You think that they're going to overturn anything? I don't know if they are. I don't think they will. Not judging from what she said she had a whole bag of evidence. I was expecting something that would overturn a conviction. I don't know if they overturn convictions for this.
In nature. Jane Doe 1 eventually put in for a position in the Victim Assistance Division and got it in December 2020. This role put her under the supervision of Chief Prickle. However, the unwanted touches and full frontal hugs with moaning continued. The most recent of the sexualized hugs back in April 2022. We got a damn freak for the DA, but you want to talk about Karmelo Anthony? No, we're gonna talk about you. Because if you want to sit up here and go do this rocket docket type case, well, we're gonna rocket docket your ass. Because you need to be in jail. You do not need to be a DA here. But see, this is what they don't tell you. That's why you got to research your people, who you're voting for. And I'm going to say this to the Republican Party. Republican Party, y'all need to write somebody else in. Because this man here is a sexual deviant. And he has no place being a DA here in Collin County. And if you want to see this lawsuit, you can go to my Houston Stringer page or Nights on TV. We're going to drop the whole 75 pages so you can read it for yourself. And there's some sick puppy foolishness in here. But he's DA though. Oh, okay. Let me see. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I agree. He don't need to be a damn DA, but I thought I'm hoping she got something there that gonna help with the appeal. But I don't think he need to be hell no, if he a DA, he ain't out harassing people.
But then we could have stepped further.
But you know what? I ain't surprised. I always think that the people that lock up criminals usually be more criminal than the people that they lock up.
Hold that for me. Hold that. We took it a step further because anytime we pull court documents, my legal team will put it in an audit and it'll give a psychological background of the defendant. Y'all want to hear it? Yeah. I can't hear you. You want to hear it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we have predatory behavior patterns of District Attorney Greg Willis. The complaint outlines an administrative pattern where DA Willis routinely leveraged his immense legal and professional power, including his authority to refer individuals for indictment and control criminal investigations to isolate and exploit female employees. Oh, he enforces strict closed-door policies using forested glass office doors to maintain total occupancy. Across multiple independent plaintiff accounts, Willis repeatedly utilized identical operational pretexts to force unwanted physical contact. He frequently claimed he needed help with eloquently tapping them in chairs, massaging their shoulders, stroking their limbs, and forcing full frontal body hugs while rubbing. He frequently claimed he needed help with electronic document to draw female staff behind his desk, subsequently tapping them in chairs, massaging their shoulders, stroking their limbs, and forcing full frontal body hugs while rubbing their lower backs, audibly moaning. He explicitly framed his actions as personal compulsions, stating, telling staff, sometimes I can't help myself. When he near to them, and blaming their appearance for the lack of professional control. That's the DA we got in here. That's the DA who did this to Karmelo Anthony. So y'all ain't know that, huh? Oh, y'all didn't? Okay. And then, so let me tell you about, let me get another one.
There's more.
Hold on, it's more, baby. It's more stuff.
She said the DA here frequently, he up in there. Who said some shit? I can't help myself. That is crazy. That I don't think it'll help with his appeal though, but I'm definitely gonna do some research into it.
It's more stuff. Now, I want to give credit to North Carolina The Beat, which is another, it's another Black journalists that we all work together. All us people, activists, journalists, we work together. And I thank him for giving us this information and we confirmed all of it. However, Judge Roach, now I'm on your avenue. Okay? Did y'all know that there's a third-party website? Because y'all know I deal with judicial accountability, right? Y'all know I bring them judges and I slang them when they dirty, right? So there's a third party that I want you all to be able to go to. And I'm gonna make sure that we put it in the article so you can use that as a resource. Because whatever court you go to in the United States that deal with family and children, you need to know who's on this list. And this is a list of child abuse judges. This is child abuse judges, and this comes from the childabusejudges.com. Yeah. See, you don't know until you know, right? Okay. So as of 12/22/2025, 1,400 plus judges have been accused of child abuse. Many judges 2 to 6 times. So let's see what state we got Texas up with, because this is all of them. But I'm just going to show y'all Texas.
Now, don't tell me they all some baby shakers. What's going on in Texas? They just beat babies up there? DA freak elite, judge child abuse, Dominique Alexander shaking the hell out of 2-year-olds. Oh man. I wonder, do y'all think this is stuff that could help I don't know. North says she really thinks she cooking. Cause like say we accept this is true stuff, right? And even when I heard the things about Dominique Alexander, I didn't believe it right away. I was like, people just making up shit about him. But then I had to go look it up. I was like, damn, why it gotta be true? Right? If these things would be true, would that help get somebody their appeal, get their sentence overturned or get it lesser time or something or an adjustment? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't think this stuff would help him. I don't think.
Let's see who name on here.
Receipts.
Oh yeah, here you go. My Versace glasses kind of got in the way. But Judge John Roach Jr. is on that list. And this is the same judge that convicted Karmelo. So you know what they say. Don't throw rocks living in a what? Glass house. So you need to know who is governing you guys. Because if you don't, how do you know how to move? That's why elections is important. You need to know who you're voting for. Y'all over here putting sex offenders in here, child abuse judges in here, and you wonder why you can't move 2 steps forward and you got to take 2 steps back, and then they turn around and take your kids from you. Then they turn around and have your ass going to TDCJ for over 30 years. But that's what you got in this county here. So what I want to leave to the people of Collin County is this. DFW surrounding areas. We got to mobilize. We got to mobilize. We got to try to start getting fire with fire. We have to let these people know that we would not tolerate this egregious activity that they're doing to our people. We would not tolerate it. So I did not come out here to rah. You dealing with it here. See, while you going getting in that Jordan line, you better get in that voting line. That's right. When you over there on that stripper pole, you better get to that voting pole. That's right.
All right, let's see. Well, I looked up like a short answer or whatever real quick. It says no, it wouldn't help. Exposing the DA's past sexual assault lawsuit would not help Karmelo Anthony's appeal, not legally, not strategically, not in the way people imagine, but it can matter in a different lane, which it says I'll break down whatever. So it says, why would it not help his appeal legally? Appeals courts only care about legal errors that affected the verdict, such as improper jury instructions, unconstitutional evidence, ineffective counsel, prosecutorial misconduct in the case, and violations of due process. Let's see. A DA's past personal misconduct, even something as serious as a sexual assault allegation, does not overturn a conviction unless A, it directly affected this case, or B, it created a conflict of interest that harmed the defendant, or C, it led to actual misconduct in the prosecution of this case. So everything she's saying, she would have to tie it to this case. And it says when it could matter. So there are only 2 narrow situations where this type of where this type of information becomes legally useful is one, if the DA scandal created political pressure that influenced charging decisions. Example, if the defense could prove the DA overcharged Karmelo to distract from their own scandal, this is extremely hard to prove. Number two, if the DA committed misconduct in this case, example, hiding evidence, coercing witnesses, violating discovery rules, making inflammatory statements. If the DA's past shows a pattern of misconduct, the defense might use it to argue credibility, but only if tied to specific actions in this case. And that's what I was saying. Like with this is, what these people are doing. If they're coming, and maybe and honestly, they could be doing this behind the scenes, but as far as this, if I'm in a case like this and it's so high profile, all this racial stuff, people getting doxxed and all this shit, I'm sorry, but I don't want you doing this. I want to do my appeal. The people already hate me enough. Please don't do this. Do this afterwards. You know what I'm saying? The appeal process don't go how I want it to go. Fuck it. You can save this for later. Do this afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But not right now. I don't like the way they're handling things on that side. I just wouldn't do it that way.
Because at the end of the day, who they affect locally is y'all. So do I got any questions for the media? Because I got time today. I got time today. I sure do.
The people that are not in higher power like you guys, what do you want us to do as the people? Do we keep, I'm a blogger, so what do we do?
No, what you do, you continue being a blogger. You continue shining the light. But what you have to do, you have to ensure whatever that you put in, that it is credible. Because you damage your credibility, you damage everything. Yes.
I know that you have a lot of problems with the trial and the way it went down.
Yes.
What is your biggest problem with it that you feel like discredits the entire trial?
Who was conducting it from the beginning? And then who was the one that was convicting? Who was the one that was calling the shots? I got a problem with these people. I actually have a problem with this. I have a problem, like I'm going to repeat this again. This was a modern day live lynching. This was from the very beginning that this young man was doing. That's why we were working behind the scenes, because this time we finna get in front of this.
What are you doing now in terms of trying to help with an appeal or be involved?
What we're doing now at this stage is trying to help the family to get the right, proper legal representation.
Yes.
We giving them names, and they need to be able to pick who they want. I'm not going to just say, no, you take this lawyer here, and then this lawyer get over here and do what these lawyers did. And just sew this child up the river. Now.
Well, I disagree with that. If they, listen to what she just said.
To get the right, proper legal representation. Yes. We giving them names, and they need to be able to pick who they want. I'm not.
How is that helping the family? Clearly, you just said you not just gonna give them a lawyer and have them do the same thing that this other lawyer, what's his name, Mike Howard, was it Howard? So clearly they don't know how to pick out a lawyer. You're showing up with this paperwork saying you got a research team, you got all this information, you got all these resources. Then wouldn't you show up with a lawyer that hey man, I got a couple lawyers here say they want to help you out. Don't worry about nothing. We got you. This is our resources. These gonna be your lawyers to help you with this appeal process. Get rid of that public defender. We got you. But to say, oh, I showed up with a list of lawyers, they can get a list of lawyer names all they want. You ain't got nobody that for sure gonna handle business. What are you talking about? That was just a roundabout way saying we ain't doing anything. Right? Wouldn't the answer be what I just read when it says if the DA committed misconduct in this case, hiding evidence, coercing witnesses, violating discovery rules, and making inflammatory statements, you would have a team of people on that. You would have your lawyers and your resources you would be coming to. I think these people just showing up just to put their group in the spotlight. This is a very popular, high-profile case, and in every high-profile case, people show up and they want their organization to be tied to it so that they can put down on their resume, hey, we was out there and we was fighting for this cause. And I think that's all it is.
Not gonna just say, no, you take this lawyer here, and then this lawyer get over here and do what these lawyers did. And just sold this child up the river. Now, am I in agreement with anybody losing their life? Absolutely not. But I'm also in agreement of accountability, because accountability breeds responsibility. And it's our responsibility as a community and as me as an activist to call it out. Because when you don't shine a light to it, it's going to continue. That's why y'all need to know who we dealing with in here. And I'm not done digging up all the rest of these judges. Or whoever else. We're not done.
What else will you be doing to?
I'm sorry?
What else will you be doing besides this event here today?
I'm just gonna say this. You just stay tuned. You just stay tuned. Because I'm not giving the gameplay.
Don't believe me.
Just stay tuned. Because see, you have a lot of people, and not to be disrespectful, my brother, you have a lot of people that do this, but don't put no action. So I'm telling you, watch the action play because it's coming. Any other questions?
Have you been made aware of the video that's supposed to be at the Frisco ISD that shows Karmelo being jumped?
Well, see, that right there, ma'am, I'm not trying to retry nothing with the case. What we're going to do, we're going to let the appeal process deal with that. That's why we need the best lawyers who going to go and get that, who go and get what's supposed to be done. That's what we do. I'm sorry? No, it's gonna be the entire United States that's gonna help, because they're gonna have, it's gonna be everybody. We all gonna galvanize behind this. I'm sorry?
I mean, what?
What we're gonna do, we're gonna let the appeal process deal with that. That's why we need the best lawyers who gonna go and get that, who gonna go and get what's supposed to be done. That's what we do. I'm sorry? No, it's gonna be the entire United States that's gonna help, because they're gonna have, it's gonna be everybody. We all gonna galvanize behind this. I'm sorry?
What do you think about the photos you've seen released of Karmelo and his prison, attire and things like that? I mean, a lot of people. It hurt.
Well, I mean, let's just be clear. Let's be clear. What they do, that's just standard. What they do with sending these pictures out to try to paint this child to be a bad person. But you notice what they didn't put out was when he saved the child from drowning.
That's right.
Because we had that news article and I put that out and the whole nation didn't know nothing about it. So I'm like this, if you're gonna tell it, tell it all. Tell it all.
You want to see his background introduced into this case.
Absolutely. And when you did not have a mitigation specialist on that defense team, this is what you get. This is what you get. And so I'm just going to be real clear, everybody. Now, we got to start, because the fight starts now. Everybody has a strong suit out here. Utilize your strong suit, because the family is going to need us.
Yes.
We need to make sure, one, that if you're a blogger, if you're the news, if you have your own news stations, anywhere, anything that's dealing with that caliber, we got to control the narrative, and we have to ensure the narrative is being put out correctly. And when things are not being done right, we got to shine a light to it, period. So, any other questions before we conclude this press conference?
I have a question.
Yes.
What advice would you give to our Black community just moving forward with this situation.
To the online white people who using this opportunity to be racist and call us monkeys.
Okay, so let me just say this. Let me just say this, everybody. I've been called all kind of names from the rooter to the tutor. Okay? What you have to keep in mind is this. Don't worry about the distractions. It's distractions. Keep your eyes on the prize. And our prize at this point right now is to get this boy out. Okay? And we got to do everything by step, because keep in mind, we wasn't involved in the process at first. Worried, am I right or wrong? We wasn't. So we're going to be involved with it now, though. And my bloggers, don't y'all stop. Because whatever they can't cover, because they got producers and stuff. Whatever they can't cover, you cover it. Send it to me. We're going to get it out there, because I got more followers than them anyway. That's what we're going to do. Any other questions? Okay, so that one right there, and then you know what else happened with that lawsuit? He didn't even file an answer, honey. So that let you know he a freak.
Why would money even be involved?
Can't control your sexual urges. What's wrong with you? You need Jesus. Okay. Thank y'all. Come on, girl, because I got to go.
Okay. So, can you explain how long kind of a process is going to be?
Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Child, I got to get my fan for this shit. But baby, it's hot. Hold on, child. Let me get my fan, honey. Because I'm not going to be falling out here messing with y'all. Okay, now, repeat your question. I'm sorry.
I'm saying, can you explain to the community how long the process is going to be? Kind of like
Well, see, it would be 1.5 to 2 years possibly. And that's why what I'm saying is that this is going to be an uphill battle. I'm not going to say this is going to be a cakewalk, because it's not. And that's why I keep stressing that this family has to have the creme de la creme appellate team. Period, point blank, simple. All right?
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to what the media released in regards to his appeal, I noticed that it was just a generic appeal, and it did not include a submission statement.
Because it's by an appointed appellate lawyer. Okay. That's why we putting this out right now. So we can ensure we get the creme de la creme, so we get him off.
Okay. So once that is done and you do a new appeal, will you include a submission statement?
Well, see, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't answer that. Okay? So I can't speak on nothing legal about that, baby, because I'm not a lawyer. All I can tell you is what we finna do as the community and as an activist, and what we're gonna do to help galvanize and help give leverage to that legal team.
Yes. Can I explain what the purpose is of the submission statement?
No, not right now, honey. No. Save that for when we get to the appeal process. Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm not taking no more questions. I'm done, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate you.
So, what we need to say, let's say his name. Karmelo! 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 You coming home, baby. You just hold on. Hold on.
I don't know, that interesting. I'm about to do more research into that. I'm done. I can't take no more. Hopefully, let's see. Hopefully we all learn and get along. I don't know. I'm done. I'll probably do my research into some of the things that y'all have suggested in the chat. I'll probably do more research into this lady, and and the things with the judge and the DA. However, from what I can see looking up, none of those things will help with the appeals process. Only thing I can say is don't let the media into things that people are doing force you into having a mind full of hate or hatred and stuff like that. Now if you was already hateful before this, and you're using this as an excuse to spew hateful things on the internet, I get it. Continue doing what you're doing. It's fine. I don't know. But anyway, if anybody's watching this on the replay or after the live, feel free to get in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I'm tired as shit right now. Let me know what you think. Do you think he has any chance of overturning his conviction or getting less time? So I don't know. I notice Miss Bunny says, God help us all. We can't get past race yet. No, we can't. We can't get past race. You know what's so funny about race? It's a social construct. It's not even a real thing. There's no science behind it at all. It's not even a real thing. But people fight for it. People kill for it. People are obsessed with it. So I don't know. Yeah, man. All right, man. I want to appreciate you all, man. Y'all don't forget to thumb up, like the video, man, and share it and subscribe it, man. Y'all come back and holler at the kid, man. Y'all come back and holler at me, man. Subscribe, man. I think I'm a pretty fair person, man. I know people get mad at me because I don't pick a side, but most of the time I don't see the point. I seen somebody put in the comment section like, I don't know how anybody could pick a side in this sad case, man. But once again, given when I see the way adults act and behave on the internet and in public, I now know why the children are acting the way that they act. Because even adults, they don't know how to act. So why would the kids know how to act? It makes no sense. So
Wrong with you?
let's say. All right. I want to say that I appreciate everybody in the comment section. I allow everybody to have their own freedom of speech. So I appreciate y'all all. I see y'all next time. I'm about to head out, man. Stay positive, man. If you got any anger, hatred in you, do your best to let it go. I promise you, the news and the media is always going to show bad things and give you the impression that people are just these evil things. And I think that we would have been destroyed ourselves on this earth if majority of us were murderers, if majority of us was evil and stuff like that, man. So let's not allow the media to trick us into being hateful and mean and evil and ignorant towards each other. So that's the only thing that I can say. But hey, what do I know? I think Chandler Phillips said it best. Media tricks people to make y'all hate each other, smoke some weed, and love each other, y'all. And I'm gonna end on that note because I totally agree with that one. Let me see if I can find another thing. Oh, let's see. I think it's too many. I can't even find it. There's too many comments. Where is it at? You know what? And we've been online. We've been in here for a minute. It's been like 3 hours. I didn't even get to the father's interview. But damn, I might have to talk about it again. But Austin Metcalf father, he was rambling. I did not watch that whole hour. Yeah, I don't know. All right, B North, man, you have a good night too, man. You have a good night too. Appreciate you coming through. I appreciate everybody coming through, having a conversation, and being in the chat. All right, shout out to Chandler Phillips says media tricks people to make y'all hate each other, smoke some weed, and love each other, y'all. And that's how I feel. So I want to end on that. I want to say I appreciate you all. I hate goodbyes, but hey, not forever. I will see you next time. I love you all, even if you don't love me back.
Risque behavior.